Life is lessons turned to blessings.
Life is.
All of the drama, the decompression.
Life is.
Life's a journey with turns and twists.
Life is.
The experiences you journey with.
Life is.
Enduring those storms to make you stronger.
Life is.
Life is the reason you hold on longer.
Life is.
Life is a trip wherever you take it.
Life is.
Life in short is whatever you make it.
Life is. Life is. Life is. Life is.
Hello everyone, I'm Keish and this is Life Is. I would like to welcome you to the show and I'm so happy that you're here. Today we have Gary. Thank you for joining us. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Thanks for having me. My name is Gary. I'm an addict and I'm a recovering alcoholic, a homeless person, and hopeless state of mind. And that's all my story.
Okay. Well, can you tell me when your story began?
Well, like I said, I'm an addict, and I first used drugs in high school, and I did because I always wanted to fit in with the cool crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And there was always a group of kids on my bus, on the back of the bus, you know, the kids on the back of the bus.
Right,
and
of
they-
course, the rowdy
Right,
ones.
right.
What?
So I thought those kids were cool,
Mhm.
and they seemed to be having a good time, and there were girls back there. So I wanted to fit in with that crowd, and so I began to bring my own drugs to the party, and that's the way I was accepted in that crowd, and it grew from there. you know.
And what type of drugs did you bring to the party?
I started with just sneaking alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
and it progressed into marijuana, and ultimately it was a vicious crack cocaine habit.
And at this time, what was your home life like?
I grew up in a single family home. It was my mom. She was alcoholic, but she raised us the best she could. You know, she made sure we had everything we needed for school, and the rule was you come home from school, you do your chores, you do your homework, and you don't leave the yard until I get home. And
Right.
so,
Standard mom.
yeah, it was a stable home life. You know, it's just I would see kids in the neighborhood, and when I couldn't come out of the yard, and they seemed to be having fun, and I just couldn't wait to get out there and experience
Yes.
that. Yeah. But I didn't know where that would lead me. So that progressed into an everyday thing, you know.
Yeah.
And this was high school, and it continued. It continued in college,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I joined the military, and it kind of went to a whole nother level.
So you didn't stop when you joined the military? You continued on?
No, see, the thing is, with an addict, we can figure ways around things, you know, like drug tests.
That's what I was like. How did you? What did you do?
Yeah, I let's just say I figured a way around that. Yeah.
Mm-mm. You don't have to tell me.
Okay, so the thing is about addicts. We think we're smarter than everybody,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not the case. And see, the thing about addicts is we don't see the consequences for our actions until it's too late.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to explain this. We kind of let things build up until there's ultimately an explosion of emotions and feelings, and that's why we get high. We get high to escape things. We get high to cover up feelings.
Well, how did your family feel when they found out that, you know, you were an addict?
I hid it very well. You know, we think that we're not hurting anyone but ourselves, but that couldn't be further from the truth.
Mm-hmm.
I think now how many nights and weekends my mom sit up waiting for that call.
Mm.
And I look back now and I see things that I didn't see, you know, in my addiction.
Yeah. So what did she say to you? Did she?
Well, see, this is kind of strange because my mom was an alcoholic as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that gave me the opportunity to get away with things because she really wasn't paying attention
Right.
to what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So that made it easy for me to sneak around.
Mm-hmm.
And
But I'm sure she knew because she was one.
she knew, but I think okay, this is like the worst parenting advice I think you can give someone, but she said if you're gonna smoke weed, I'd rather you smoke it here at home than on the corner or
Yeah.
something. But I don't think that was very good parenting advice. So, yeah.
I heard a couple of people say that before, and I'm like, what? Okay. But, you know, they feel that that's keeping you safe in a safer environment than out there, which, I mean, I'm not justifying anything, but that's, you know.
I don't think that's the advice I would give my kids.
Yeah,
So, you know.
I would not give my children that advice.
Yeah,
But,
so yeah, so that was high school and college, and I had started a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
In high school. I had my first child with my girlfriend, and when I got out of the military, there was 2 more kids,
Mm-hmm.
and
Were you an active father, and did you have a father role model or
See.
a role model in your life?
I did not, and I was afraid of being a parent, and I ran from that.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, I didn't see it as running
Right.
from that responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened with that is, after years, my children had some anger toward me for not being there for them.
Yes.
And that guilt, carrying around that guilt
Mm-hmm.
and that shame for a long time, the only way I knew to cover that up
Mm-hmm.
was to use.
Yeah.
And that's why I used for a long time. And it kind of progressed into an everyday thing, and it took over my life.
And you know, what did you lose during this time?
Well, most importantly, I lost the relationship with my children. I lost jobs. I had really good jobs, and using and hanging out all night and partying was more important to me than going to work. And as a result, you lose that job. I've lost apartments.
Mm-hmm.
I lost homes. Ultimately, I became homeless.
And where were you staying?
So I had this is what I call my bottom experience.
Mm-hmm.
And my landlord, he finally got tired of my shenanigans with the rent money.
Yeah.
And he just wanted his keys, and he wanted me to leave. And I wanted to grab a few things, but he was so pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a few wrestling matches about this before, and I think really I was tired of living like that as
Mhm.
well. So he said, just give me my keys and leave. So I started walking.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a destination. And I wound up in a park on like 17th and College.
Mm-hmm.
Martin Luther King Park. I remember this very well. It was cold. had on some shorts, white t-shirt, which was now brown from dirt. I had been up a couple days. I was exhausted. I really didn't know what to do, but I knew I didn't want to live like that no more.
Mm-hmm.
I got on my knees and I asked God to save me.
Yes. Yes.
Now I want to tell you that it was like my life changed right then, but that's not the way God worked it for me.
Yeah.
But He did give me a moment of clarity where I knew what I needed to do.
Yeah.
And I went to the VA and I got accepted in a rehab facility.
Mm-hmm.
And God started to surround me with positive people. And they guided me to a program of recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing in recovery is you have to start being honest with yourself.
Yeah, that's, yep.
Yeah, so I picked a sponsor, a guy, he had just completed the same program like a year ago. Now, usually when people pick their sponsors, they pick someone who's got 10 or 20 years of sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
And they know the program. Well, I didn't pick him for that because he only had 1 year of sobriety.
Yes.
But it was something about this guy. He would always be talking about how God was working in his life.
Yeah.
And I wanted that.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of followed his footsteps, and he led me to a 12-step program that I still work today. It's a program of spiritual principles, and that's what we need as addicts,
Mm-hmm.
because the disease of addiction it's a sickness of your soul. So once we begin to heal our souls,
Mm-hmm.
we begin to come around.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now. June 1st, I'll celebrate 7 years clean.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That is awesome.
So part of my journey is I need to share this with other addicts and alcoholics
Yes.
to give them hope. And every opportunity I get to do that, I need to do that. And with that, I get some peace.
Yes. That's very important. It's for you to have peace. A peace of mind. If you don't have a peace of mind, you have nothing. For real. So, how's your relationship with your girls?
Wow. See, now, those are relationships that I think no human being can heal that. And God restored a lot of things in my life.
Mm-hmm.
But the things that money can't buy is what I treasure the most.
Yes.
And my children, we have a very loving relationship now. It's not what I would want it to be, but it's what it is.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that,
Mm-hmm.
So they're not all in love with their dad, but,
They accept you.
they accept me. They never see me use, but they just know I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't make up for that. You don't get that time back.
Right.
I can just be the best parent I can going forward. And I try real hard. Now, I have been blessed with 4 grandkids.
Yeah.
And they don't know Pawpaw.
Right.
as an addict. They just know Paw.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I love that. Yeah. So, yeah.
That is awesome.
Life is really good now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I said, I was homeless. Now I live in a nice neighborhood. I have a nice place, and I just got another blessing. I have an organization that wants to build me a house.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Won't he do it? Won't he do
Yeah,
it?
so God just keeps
Keep on
blessing.
blessing.
Yeah.
Blessing on blessings on blessings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So when we talk about addiction, it's a lot about healing your spiritual life,
Mhm.
and we always talk about spiritual growth.
Yes.
And I just been doing like spiritual push-ups since I
Yeah.
started. So yeah, I seek spiritual growth at every opportunity.
That's perfect. Because I know when I see you, you have a smile on your face. You looking cool.
See,
you know,
a lot of people say, "Why you smile all the time?" I'm like,
Yeah,
if you
cool.
knew where I came from,
Yes.
yeah. But everybody's got a story.
Yeah.
We just have to share it to give
Mhm.
other people hope.
And that's what I would like to do is, you know, I hope whoever is listening to you, I hope they can gain something from it. You know, a coping skill, that moment of clarity. You
Yeah.
know, it's not easy going through things, but that one split moment where it says put that down or stop doing that, close the bottle, empty it, just do it. And then as long as you just start doing it, things will change for you.
One day at a time.
One day at a time. And celebrate those things, you know.
I love it.
Hmm. So what would you like to tell someone who's listening? What word of advice would you give them?
When you're ready, you can't get sober because your mama wants you to get sober, or because your wife wants you to get sober. But when you're ready, just know that God will be there for you. But you just have to reach out and want to change your life.
Mm-hmm.
And once you make that commitment, you'll be surprised of His grace and mercy for you. I promise you that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. No matter how deep of a pit you think you're in, all you got to do is reach up, and He already pulling you out of it.
So I have a favorite scripture for that. Psalms 40.
Mm-hmm.
I waited patiently on the Lord. He turned and heard my cry,
Mhm.
and He lifted me out of a horrible pit.
Yes,
That's me.
That's it.
That's me.
that's it.
That's me. So
Mhm.
I keep that dear to my heart.
Mhm. That's awesome.
So yeah. But I give God all the glory.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Okay.
More than. So, everyone, I would like to thank you for joining in with us. And please tune in the next time to Life Is.
Life is.
Life is lessons turned to blessings.
Life is.
All of the drama, the decompression.
Life is.
Life's a journey with turns and twists.
Life is.
The experiences you journey with.
Life is.
Enduring those storms to make you stronger.
Life is.
Life is the reason you hold on longer.
Life is.
Life is a trip wherever you take it.
Life is.
Life in short is whatever you make it.
Life is. Life is. Life is. Life is.